I want to talk about women's sports.
Women deserve to get paid the same as men for the same jobs, and that includes sports.
When the left says the system we live in is a patriarchy, meaning it's set up by men and it disproportionately benefits men, and then we say, hey, women deserve to get paid the same as men for doing the same thing, for playing the same sport. And then conservatives and sexists use the system to justify paying women less, like they don't make as much money, so they don't deserve to get paid as much. You can kind of see how you're proving our point, right? You're using the system to justify this, whereas we're saying the system has a problem, so we want to change the system. Instead of asking the question of how can you justify paying men 200 times more in salary, right? And that's not an exaggeration. The top paid NBA player last year made around $50 million, while the top paid WNBA player last year made $250,000. So there's literally a 200 times difference in basketball salaries. There's two other more important questions that you need to ask, right? The first is pose it for what it is. You have two groups of people, and if you're a person, at least for the sake of this conversation, you fall into one of those two groups. You cannot play in both. If you're the best person in the world at a certain thing, like basketball, is it the sign of a just system to have a 200 times difference in salary just because of you're in a different group, because of a thing you're born with that you don't control? The second question you can ask is, why are you using skill or the team's or league's income to justify paying women less than men, but you're not using that argument to justify paying men more than other men? And what I mean by that is the NBA sets the same salary cap for every team every year, regardless of ticket sales, regardless of viewership on games, regardless of how good that team is. Your team could go 2-80 one year and you'd still get the same salary cap as a team that goes 82-0.
And side note, this is a great example of socialism.
Making sure that the teams without the advantages have the same opportunity to win against the big teams who can invest more money into it, right? If you're really pro-capitalist, you'd want the NBA to be set up like the Premier League in England, where the richest people get to buy the best players because they have the most money. But you don't, because it's not about fairness, it's not about equity, it's about keeping women down, and it's about upholding patriarchy. So what can you do? I think you can learn from other sports. One example is tennis. In tennis, there's 4 major tournaments. These are the biggest tournaments in the world, right? If you win one of these, you're legendary status. One of them's the US Open. The US Open has celebrated over 50 years of giving equal prize money to men and women. And there's still people saying that the women deserve to get paid less than the men.